Welcome to this exploration of continuous random variables. In the world of statistics and probability, understanding how we define and measure variables is crucial. Today, we are going to focus specifically on variables that don't just take on single, distinct values, but instead exist across a continuous range or interval. To understand continuous variables, it helps to compare them with what they are not. On the left, we have discrete random variables. These are things you can count, like the number of students in a room or the roll of a die. There are gaps between the values. You can have one or two, but nothing in between. On the right, we have continuous random variables. These represent measurements where there are no gaps. The values flow continuously, covering every possible point within a range, much like time flowing or water pouring. So, how do we define this mathematically? A random variable x is considered continuous if its possible values form an entire interval of numbers. It is not defined by a specific list of numbers like 1, 2, or 3. Instead, it is defined by a range. For example, x could be any real number between a lower bound, a, and an upper bound, b. This leads to a fascinating concept: infinite precision. Between any two numbers on a continuous scale, no matter how close they are, there is always another number. If you pick 3 and 3.5, there is 3.25 in between. Zoom in further, and you find even more decimal places. Because a continuous variable can be any of these infinite values, we say it requires infinite precision to measure exactly. Let's use an analogy to make this concrete. Think of a discrete variable like a carton of eggs. You can have 1 egg, 2 eggs, or 3 eggs. You cannot physically have 1.5 eggs in a shell. It is a count. Now, think of a continuous variable like water in a pitcher. You can have any amount of water. You could have 1 liter, or 1.5 liters, or 1.55 liters. The amount of water is a measurement that flows smoothly without steps. Since we cannot list every single possible value in a table, we use a graph to describe continuous variables. This is called the probability density function, or PDF. The curve, denoted as f of x, shows us how the probability is distributed. The most important rule to remember is that the total area underneath this entire curve is always equal to exactly 1, representing 100% probability. How do we calculate the chance of getting a specific result? In the continuous world, probability is equivalent to area. To find the probability that our variable x falls between two values, a and b, we calculate the area of the shaded region under the curve between those 2 points. The size of that slice represents the likelihood of the event occurring. Here is a concept that often confuses beginners. What is the probability that x is exactly equal to a specific number, say c? The answer is 0. Mathematically, a single line at C has no width, and without width, it has no area. Since probability is area, the probability of hitting one specific point with infinite precision is 0. We only talk about ranges, not exact points. We see continuous variables everywhere. Temperature is a classic example. It moves smoothly from 20 degrees to 21 degrees, passing through every fraction in between. Weight is another. Your weight isn't just a round number, but a precise measurement on a scale. Time is perhaps the most intuitive example. The time you wait for a bus could be 5 minutes or 5 minutes and 30 seconds. All of these operate on continuous intervals. To recap what we have learned, continuous random variables take values within an interval, not as separate points. Because there are infinite possibilities, we cannot assign a probability to a single specific number. That probability is always 0. Instead, we use the probability density function to find probabilities by calculating the area under the curve between 2 points. Thank you for watching.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.